death floats on the high seas. A Raven Darkblade Mystery. Chapter 3. Circles Within, Circles Within. Murder. Detective Raven Darkblade arrived at the server room to find Derek downloads in what could only be described as an extremely dead position. The navigation officer was sprawled across a pile of manual override documents, which was ironic, since he'd never be overriding anything manually again. "This is worse than the first murder," Raven declared, his trench coat billowing in the air conditioning that shouldn't have been that strong, which was already pretty bad. So this is like double bad, bad squared, bad to the power of bad. Penelope plot twist, whose name was becoming more ominous with each corpse, clutched her clipboard like it contained the meaning of life, but actually just had the bingo schedule. Derek was our only hope. Well, him and backup Barry, but Barry's been in the infirmary since the shrimp incident. "What shrimp incident?" Raven asked, immediately regretting it. "We don't talk about the shrimp incident." That made three things they didn't talk about, and Raven was starting to worry they'd run out of conversation topics entirely. The murder weapon was a bedazzled cruise ship model from the gift shop, embedded with enough rhinestones to blind a disco ball. The price tag was still attached. $89.99. The crown jewel of cruise memorabilia. "The killer has expensive taste," Raven observed, "or a gift shop employee discount, or poor financial judgment, possibly all three." Dr. Stethoscope arrived, now wearing a lab coat over her lab coat, which she insisted made her double medical. She examined the body with the thoroughness of someone checking if a parking meter still had time left. "Death by blunt force trauma," she announced. "Also by sharp force trauma from all these rhinestones. Really, it's a mix of traumas, a trauma smoothie, if you will." "I won't," Raven said. The intercom crackled with Captain Fitzy's voice. "Attention, cruise goers. Update on our whale situation. They're definitely whales, not dolphins. I had it backwards. Also, they're swimming faster now, so we're doing our circles at approximately wee speed. Some of you may experience temporal displacement." "Temporal displacement?" Raven muttered. "He means seasickness," Dr. Stethoscope translated. "He's been reading that thesaurus we got him for Christmas." Suddenly Raven noticed something under Derek's left hand. A cruise ship napkin with writing on it. The handwriting looked like someone had tried to write while on a mechanical bull. "A clue!" Raven exclaimed, because exclaiming about clues was detective tradition. The napkin read, "The not suspicious are the most suspicious. Check the manifest." "What manifest?" Penelope asked, her plot increasingly twisting. "The passenger manifest. Derek must have discovered something about someone's identity." Raven's mind raced like a turtle on espresso. Someone in the not suspicious category isn't who they claim to be. Back in the starboard lounge, the 5 categories of suspicion had devolved into chaos, which was their natural state, like water being wet or cruise ship food being questionable. "I demand a recount." Bruno the Belly was shouting, his competition stomach jiggling with rage. "I've been moved to more suspicious because of my aggressive belly energy. That's discrimination." You literally said you wanted to belly flop Captain Tremendulous into next Tuesday, Ken Know-It-All pointed out. That's a figure of speech, Bruno protested. It's really not, Karen Know-It-All added, because accuracy was her middle name, though her middle name was actually Gertrude. In the not-suspicious corner, little Susie Murderface was making origami boats out of what looked suspiciously like pages from the ship's emergency procedures manual. That's an interesting hobby, Raven said, crouching down, which made his knees sound like breakfast cereal. I like boats, Susie said sweetly, especially ones that sink. Did you know this ship has enough lifeboats for exactly half the passengers? I counted. That's concerning. Not if you're in the first half, she smiled, and her teeth seemed too sharp for an 8-year-old, or possibly she just needed braces. Suddenly, Bob, the aggressively normal man, raised his aggressively normal hand. I have something to confess. I'm not actually Bob. Everyone gasped, including Bob himself, which was confusing. My real name is Robert, he continued. Bob is just short for Robert. I've been living a lie. That's how nicknames work, Raven said slowly. Oh, Bob Robert sat down. Never mind then. But Victoria's secret keeper wasn't done. Her notebook of secrets practically vibrated with forbidden knowledge. I know something about everyone here, including our dear detective. What about me? Raven asked, worried she'd discovered his height inconsistencies. You're not even registered on this cruise. I checked the manifest after Derek's note was found. There's no Raven Darkblade in any cabin. The room erupted in suspicious murmuring, which sounded like regular murmuring, but with more side-eye. I can explain, Raven said, though he actually couldn't. I'm using an alias. My real name is Raven Light Knife. I'm traveling incognito because you're investigating something. Bethany Helps Too Much bounced excitedly. Were you already on the killer's trail? Is this all connected to a larger conspiracy? Is the cruise ship industry involved? Are we all in danger? Before Raven could make up more lies, the lights flickered dramatically. When they steadied, Madeline Kofsalot was standing on a chair, holding a flare gun she'd gotten from somewhere. Enough! She screamed. I can't take it anymore. The circles, the murders, the way the buffet runs out of crab legs at 7 p.m. I know who the killer is. Everyone leaned forward, including the mime, who had been suspiciously silent even for a mime. It's someone in the not suspicious category, just like Derek's note said. Think about it. The perfect alibi is too perfect. The killer made sure they'd be above suspicion. But who? Raven asked, his detective skills finally clicking into place, like a seatbelt after the third try. Isn't it obvious? Madeline laughed, a sound like a hyena trying to yodel. It's... The flare gun went off accidentally, or was it? Sending a bright red flare ricocheting around the room like a very festive pinball. In the chaos, someone screamed. When the smoke cleared, Madeline was on the ground, unconscious but breathing, with a dart in her neck. Pinned to her captain's hat was a note. Some secrets should stay secret. Stop digging or join Derek. The real captain. The real captain, Raven read. But Captain Tremendulous is dead. Unless, Susie Murderface said, her origami boat suddenly looking very sinister. Captain Tremendulous was never supposed to be on this ship at all. The ship lurched as it completed another circle, and Raven could feel the investigation spinning just as endlessly. 3 people down, a mysterious real captain, and a killer hiding among the not suspicious. Check the manifest, he ordered Penelope. Every name, every cabin. Someone here isn't who they say they are. But the computer systems are all down, Penelope wailed. Then we do this the old-fashioned way, Raven said dramatically. We ask everyone to prove they are who they say they are. How? Bob Robert asked normally. Raven hadn't thought that far ahead, which was his signature detective move. To be continued in the next circle. Author's note. This chapter is dedicated to everyone who's ever been stuck going in circles, literally or metaphorically. Also to my GPS, which unlike Derek downloads, still works. Any resemblance to actual cruise ship navigation failures is purely coincidental. And please don't ask about the shrimp incident.